Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Russian forces have bombarded several Ukrainian cities, including Lviv in the west, which had largely escaped unscathed until now. Here, thick black smoke billowing above a target in the city. Officials say 7 people have been killed after 4 rockets hit military facilities and a car tyre service point in the city. And here, drone footage shows smoke rising from above a steelworks in the city of Mariupol. It's after Ukrainian troops in the city ignored a Russian deadline to surrender on Sunday. Russia's military said artillery units attacked 315 Ukrainian targets in just one night. More than 40 people have been arrested during 4 days of violent clashes in cities in Sweden between police and people angry at plans by a far-right group to burn copies of the Quran. 3 people were injured in Norrköping when officers fired warning shots at rioters. The violence was sparked by a series of rallies organised by the Danish-Swedish politician Rasmus Paludan. He says he has burned a copy of Islam's holy book and wants to do so again. Muslims consider the Quran the sacred word of God and view any intentional damage or show of disrespect towards it as deeply offensive. China has reported the deaths of 3 people from COVID in Shanghai for the first time since the financial hub entered lockdown in late March. A release from the City Health Commission said the victims were aged between 89 and 91 and were unvaccinated. Shanghai officials said only 38% of residents over 60 are fully vaccinated. The city is now due to enter another round of mass testing, which means a strict lockdown will continue into a 4th week for most residents. The South African military says it is deploying more than 10,000 troops to help with relief and rescue operations following the devastating floods that swept through parts of KwaZulu-Natal province last week. More than 440 people have died, and the search is continuing for 63 people who are still missing. Some of them were swept away by swollen rivers and mudslides. The government has declared KwaZulu-Natal a disaster area. Officials described the floods as some of the worst to ever hit the province. The state premier said that nearly 4,000 homes have been destroyed and more than 8,000 damaged, most in the coastal city of Durban and its surrounding areas. 61 migrants have been rescued by the Spanish Coast Guard in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Spain's Canary Islands. The migrants, 31 women, 21 men and 9 minors, were transferred to a port in Gran Canaria where they were helped by emergency services. The latest official figures published show 6,359 migrants have arrived in the Canary Islands up to April the 15th. That's compared to 3,980 at the same time last year. The Canary Islands have become the main destination in Spain for migrants trying to reach Europe. A specialised marine diving team has begun work around a commercial cargo ship that sank off the southern coast of Tunisia to check for any oil leakage. The ship was heading from Equatorial Guinea to Malta when it sank 7 miles off the coast. Officials say it was carrying between 750 tonnes and 1,000 tonnes of fuel. They said barriers would be set up to limit the spread of the fuel and cordon off the ship. UK Home Secretary Priti Patel has hit back at critics of the government's plan to send asylum seekers to Rwanda, saying they have failed to offer solutions. She unveiled the policy last week alongside the Rwandan Foreign Minister as a proposed answer to people smuggling.
Why there are such serious ethical questions about sending asylum seekers overseas.
It's after the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, became the latest figure to criticise the plan, accusing the government of subcontracting our responsibilities and saying it cannot stand the judgment of God. And thousands of Jewish worshippers have prayed at the Western Wall at a special mass, priestly blessing, which takes place during the holiday of Passover under heavy Israeli security following recent violence in Jerusalem. Hundreds of police deployed across Jerusalem and its old city after violence at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. The ceremony is held twice a year during the Jewish holidays of Passover and Sukkot. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to Channel Studios in Lagos.